All right, 2 years in a row playing UCF. A lot of people here love it. We've got head coach Mark Campbell, Sedona Prince, and now Hamlin after tonight's win over the Knights. We'll let Coach give his opening statement and then open the room to some questions.
Well, first off, just really proud to get another Big 12 win, and I think we're 6-0 to start league for the first time in school history in regards to any league, because I know TCU's been in a couple different leagues, and so this was big. It's hard to do. It's never been done before, and so you Big 12 wins are hard to get, and you enjoy each one of them and you value each one of them. And tonight we didn't play our best. We didn't. We really struggled defensively. There's not many games that you can allow a team to shoot 50% from the field, 50% from three, get to the line 27 times and still win. And so thankfully we have a high-powered offense that got us over the hump tonight. But we got to continue to get better. This is going to be great game film to study and learn and grow, because we have one heck of a stretch coming up. But again, I am really excited to get this done, and we'll keep it moving.
Coach, you talked about, not letting teams climb back into games. This is one where they came back into this game. What were you seeing there to kind of, was it just something that team was doing? Was it attitude? What did you think kind of allowed UCF back in?
Defensively, we were. I'll say this: last game at Tech, I thought was maybe our best defensive effort since we've been here, and I think tonight was one of our worst defensive efforts since we've been here. And so, a lot of credit to UCF. Those kids came ready to play. Caitlin Peterson had a heck of a night. We couldn't slow her down. And so they deserve a lot of credit. At the same time, we were not locked in. And it was quarter after quarter after quarter. We ended up giving up 29 in the fourth. And so, again, we're going to get great game film. We're going to learn from it. Hopefully this makes us better.
30 points in the first quarter tonight. It's the first time your squad has done that since you've been here. Just talk about how early you got into a rhythm offensively and how good that was to see.
Yeah, we have the ability to do that. Tonight we made it difficult on ourselves. I think we could have done that multiple quarters if we swung the ball and made simple plays and attacked and just did the simple things over and over. And that's part of growth, is to understand it's okay to make the simple play over and over until they stop it. And so there were some quarters where we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot. But that first quarter was explosive, and it gave us the gap that we needed to close this thing out.
So not only a 6-0 start in the conference, but 9 wins in a row since the one loss at South Carolina. What did you guys learn from that game, and what do you have learned in this process of winning 9 in a row for this team moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, that game was, probably is going to be the biggest blessing of our season. Honestly, it taught me a lot personally, but I think our team a lot. Each person learned different things that is needed for the rest of the season. But for me, it's my mindset, right? I've had a kind of crazy career and been up and down and in and out of college and different programs and stuff, and never really just honed in on my mindset and locked in and figured out how to just be a pro in every area of my life. And that taught me that, we had a good run and I was feeling good and, let my foot off the gas. And so, yeah, I mean, it locked me back in. It taught me a lot, and I'm very grateful for it.
Where do you see this team a third of the way through conference play? I mean, it's only 1/3 of the way, but where do you see this team?
I mean, yeah, it's what a fun team to play with, right? Even tonight, we just, even on our bad nights, right, we still have such amazing offense. We play so well together. We learn so much every game and just add it on to each other. And so it's a blessing. I mean, this is the most fun team I've ever played with in my entire college career, my entire probably basketball career in my life. And so, yeah, I mean, we just have to continue to, lock in, right? Learn something every game and just continue to. It's a long season. It's a really hard season, and we know that. And so just continue to stay focused and stay together.
So, Donna, since you've gotten here, you guys have achieved countless milestones, doing it again this year. I guess, how cool has it been for you to kind of been on the ground, like helping turn the program around like this?
Oh, yeah, how cool, right? I thought my college career was over. For 8 months, I was done with it and kind of put it behind and, locked out of ever having my, college, I guess, memories and this dream that I've had since I was a little kid. And so, just being able to come to this program and play for such an amazing coaching staff and for Mark has just been, what a blessing, just that alone. But this has just been special, right? It's not over yet. So just kind of I take a step back, like every time before I tip the ball off and just look around and just am filled with gratitude. It's such a blessing to play for this team and TCU and be part of something this special.
Mark, you talked all offseason about unleashing Haley Van Lith. Tonight she matched her career high for single game with 6 made threes. Earlier this year, she set a new single game career high with assists. Just how has she developed as a player over the course of this season so far?
Yeah, she really truly has evolved. And it's a credit to her work ethic, her coachability. I mean, she's been in college for 5 years and has been willing to learn a new system and a new style of play, and used as a true point guard and creating. Tonight she had 7 assists, 0 turnovers, and one of the things that she really wanted to grow in is her shooting ability, and she has always been an attacking guard, and for her to reach her full potential, she's really got to be a high-level shooter, and so for Haley Van Lith, my guess, you fact check me, my guess she's never attempted 14 threes in her career is my guess, and she went 6 for 14, but she has worked so hard to improve on her catch and shoot ability. And a lot of that's mental because she always wants to attack and get downhill. So I'm just really proud of her. I really, truly am. To do that as a 22-year-old and grow and evolve, she's special. And then I want to follow up on what Sedona just said, but you guys, to do what this group has done in a year and a half, there's 4 young ladies, Una and Agnes, Madison Connor, and Sedona that came here and have been a part of this ride from day one. And I don't think it's hard to truly understand what the decision they made to come to a 1-17 program that had the worst record at the Power 4 level, that was at ground zero, and to take a massive leap of faith with their careers and to tackle a project that we were undertaking. And you got this coach that came from Sacramento State. I mean, literally the leap of faith that those kids took and what they've done to lay a foundation that's going to last for years and years to come. Those 4 kids forever grateful. And then you guys have an Ella up here, and I don't know how many have reminisced about this, but the game that laid the foundation for TCU was a year ago when we played UCF here. We forfeited those 2 games. We held open tryouts. We had the 4 underfrogs show up so we could continue our journey, and Ella's the lone survivor. But today was a really special game for our program, for the people that were a part of that game a year ago. And there's a huge mural in our offices of pictures from that game that will be up there as long as I get a coach here. And Ella has been such a huge part of this journey with us. You guys, when adversity hits, most people avoid adversity, run away for adversity. The 4 underfrogs and Ella, they showed up when we needed somebody. And they came to those open tryouts, and we were joking with Ella. Last year's UCF game, she said she was shaking and scared to death that she might go in that game. And it's a healthy reminder of how far this program has come in a really, really short period of time. You've gone from the underfrogs and holding open tryouts to this week being ranked in the top 10 in the country, to being 6-0 in the Big 12 and 18-1. So it's been a very magical ride.
Ella, how do you put it in perspective personally?
I mean, it's unbelievable. It's just amazing to look back and see like how far it's come with Coach Campbell and just all the players, Sedona, Haley. It's just a blessing to play with them, and it's just amazing.
Coach Campbell says you were nervous about last year's game. Tonight you come in, pull 2 from the corner pretty quickly there. How are you feeling confidence-wise tonight?
Still nervous, but I mean, just being around such amazing people, it's just made me way more confident, and it's so much fun to get out there and play.
Ella, when you reflect back on your last year, I mean, Coach obviously touched on it, but you head into Christmas break, finishing your first semester of college, thinking your basketball career is probably gone. Mm-hmm. When that opportunity came up to a year from now where you're playing for a ranked team that is playing a conference game, I mean, how do you put that into perspective?
I can't even believe it. It's just been, I don't even know. I mean, it's just amazing. It's a blessing to be on this team, and I just can't believe how far it's come since a year ago today.
So doing 29 assists on 32 field goals. Just how good is the chemistry right now with this team?
Oh, I mean, it's amazing. I think you have a lot of high IQ level players, right? We play well off each other. So what we do best at, right, is running in transition and getting good shots, feeding each other. And when teams run zone, right, we are able to kind of just pick it apart. And you put a player in the middle, and we have amazing shooters as well, right? Some of the best in the country. And so, yeah, I mean, that's what we love to do. We love to play together, good, solid, team basketball. That's what we're best at.
Sedona, there's obviously emotion right now listening to Mark talk. I mean, you aren't that different from Ella in that, 18 months ago, 2 years ago, you thought your basketball career was over too. And now, same thing, you took a chance, you trusted a coach, you came back, and now you're part of a top 10 program. I mean, what obviously means a lot to you.
Yeah. I said I was going to get emotional.
I feel a lot of tears at this podium this season.
Yeah, I mean, and my personal career has been, a journey, right? And I was really lost and really scared and had no idea if I was going to play basketball again. And, I mean, for this opportunity, right, to come here into this amazing just community where I'm home, feels like is such a blessing, right, to be able to grow and be around such loving, amazing people. And yeah, I mean, where we were last year, right, like, it's unreal how far we've come, and Mark always said just believe in it, right, keep working and it'll come. And so now being here in this moment is so unbelievably special.
Mark, who had the scout tonight?
Nia Jackson, I love it. Good icebreaker. Good icebreaker. We needed that.
Yeah, thanks.
Nia had the scout and did a great job. Gosh dang, you guys, the Big 12 is every night. It's just a reminder. It doesn't matter what a team's record is, where they're at. Every team is really talented, and thankfully we were able to get it done.
Talking about assists, Haley's been kind of leading that charge in assists, and she's creeping up on 500 career assists. Just talk about how hard that is to do and how much she's grown in that aspect of her game.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's on track to break the single season assist record ever at TCU, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah. By
By the way, is this our 29 assists? Is that a high for this season?
That's a Campbell era record, yes.
Oh, there we go. But Haley, a year ago was told she can't play point guard. She's playing out of position. She doesn't look out of position to me. And it's just sometimes, when you unleash a player, that can mean a lot of different things. I think Sedona this year has been unleashed, and I truly believe Sedona over the last couple weeks is truly understanding the force that she is, how unique she is, that she is truly one of the best players in the whole country, and it has been neat to see her blossom, and Haley's done that as well. And so that's when you unleash. That's the goal of a coach in a program and a staff is to identify each of these kids' talents and gifts, and they all have different gifts. Ella can really shoot that thing, by the way. So I thought she was going to stick those, but they do. Every one of these kids have gifts, and the goal as a coach is to help them unleash that and figure out what that is and gain incredible confidence at what that is and how you can impact the game of basketball. And I think that's been part of our rebuilding process, has been taking players that weren't used or successful for whatever reason, and out of necessity, figuring out how to each one of them blossom.
Sedona, do you feel unleashed?
Yeah, you put it perfectly, MC. Taking a bunch of just, fifth-year kids, right, or transfers or wherever you're at in your career, and just feeding, just so much love and confidence into them, teaching them how to play together, but, getting really, really good people around each other. And, yeah, I feel, I've felt kind of I don't know, I guess really timid in my basketball career for a long time for a lot of reasons, and now I just feel confident. I put a lot of work into this. I've waited a very, very long time for this, and yeah, I mean, I'm just in a place where I'm constantly built up, right? And so it's unreal.
Set the student attendance record tonight. Obviously, a big game coming. Yeah, it's a big deal, right? You know, and it's second day back at school. There's a lot of factors, mitigating factors there. But big game coming up Friday night. Talk about the crowd tonight and what you need for Utah.
Yeah. So first of all, Barstool, TCU. Out of nowhere, just decided to run with it and promote this game. And as the first kind of big sporting event after Christmas break and school's back in session, so they did a tremendous job promoting it and getting it out to the students. And Frog Army, thankful for that group that showed up tonight. And for us to break the all-time student attendance is really special. And we need all of them back. Friday night it starts. One heck of a journey that we have coming up. And kind of the meat of our Big 12 schedule. And so we need the community, which it's been so fun this year to watch Fort Worth rally around this team. The crowds have gotten bigger every game. The student section, this was the biggest student ever for a women's game. And so we need everybody to come back Friday night at 6:30 and bring a friend so we can double this thing and really get the show rocking and rolling. But Utah is an incredible team having a special year, explosive offense, and so we got our work cut out Friday night.
How'd Bostini look in practice? Was he pretty good?
Hey, I'll tell you what. Vibo and Sedona ran an unbelievable two-man game. We actually moved Haley off the ball so Vibo could get in a lot of the pick and roll action, and he was throwing those lobs to Sedona, but you could tell he was gifted a very strong tendency to drive right. His left hand was a little shaky.
Does he have any eligibility left, or is that?
If the NCAA ends up passing that fifth-year waiver, maybe we can get him grandfathered in somehow.
Have you had a chance to talk to Mike Buddy yet, and what's your impression of him?
Yeah, he right now is still he's back at West Point and transitioning from his vacation to press conference to cleaning up his Christmas tree, and so he hasn't circled back yet. But we've been able to connect and talk, and just so excited to get to know him and his family. Just seems like an incredible leader. And so I was in his shoes a year and a half ago, and it's a whirlwind. And so he as they transition here, just look forward to really spending time with them.
Sedona, Coach just alluded to this. You guys have a really tough stretch coming up. Just kind of from a player's perspective, your mindset going into this kind of 5-game stretch, you've got a bunch of ranked teams ahead of you.
Mm-hmm. It's one game at a time, right? We know what's ahead of us. We know our schedule, but it's one game at a time. We take scout very, very seriously and lock in for each one of them and have a game plan for each. And so just staying focused, staying together in this long 5 stretch. It's gonna be hard on our bodies, right, as well. So recovery, we take it very seriously. But yeah, one game at a time, right, and knock them down, and we just keep pushing.
Any final questions for these three? Thanks, you guys. We'll see you Friday.